Yi Xiu retired. Muqiu. I'm back, let's start from scratch. Keywords of the novel. Full-time expert. Starting from scratch with no pop-ups, full-time expert. Starting from scratch. Download the complete set of TXT, full-time expert. Starting from scratch. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Introduction. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Introduction. When the typhoon in H City came, Muqiu slants support an umbrella at the intersection of Moshan Road to fight against the wind and rain. Suddenly, the wind changed direction and the umbrella was about to turn outward. Muqiu quickly took a diagonal step and charged forward, adjusting the umbrella face. However, the folding umbrella frame could not withstand the wind pressure, not only breaking a few umbrella ribs, but also the top steel wire, completely scrapped. The thin clothes were immediately drenched by the rainstorm. Looking at the scattered umbrellas, Muqiu's nimble light flashed, pulled hard, pulled out the umbrella pole, and then rolled the umbrella bone several times to make several appearances. Bang! A car coming at high speed knocked Muqiu away. Muqiu felt like she was being carried away by the typhoon, flying higher and farther. As I was about to crash into the building, I saw a child flying out of the balcony. Don't be afraid. Muqiu shouted loudly and immediately twisted her body, diving towards the child and hugging him. You wake up quickly. I'm Mom, wake up quickly. If you don't get up and run again, your dad will come and spank you. The choking sound lasted for an unknown amount of time, and the child finally confirmed that it was in his ear. He tried to open his eyes and saw the face of a stranger woman right in front of him. He quickly looked back. Who are you? Asked hoarsely. Then my head hurt and I fainted again. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Return to China. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Return to China. Time flies by, and 8 years later, in a laboratory affiliated with Precision International, a black-haired boy said to the red-haired old man, Professor Smith, I may not be able to work here anymore, nor can I pursue a PhD with you. I want to return to my home country. Tommy, if you have something to do, I can give you a month off. Okay, 3 months. How about that? I only accept you as a doctoral student this year, and you can't stand up to me. I'm really sorry, there's something at home and I can't stay in country. Why? Thank you for your guidance. These are the drawings I designed in my spare time, please correct them. After speaking, the boy took out a USB drive and handed it to the old man. What is it? New assault rifle. The old man heard it was an assault rifle and immediately turned on the computer to look at it, then forgot about the child next to him. The black-haired boy saw that the red-haired old man was attracted by the blueprint, so he bowed to the red-haired old man and turned around to leave. After Smith finished reading the blueprint, he shook his head and sighed regretfully. This assault rifle is not a real rifle blueprint, but a PDF blueprint of the rifle in Honor Games, which is impossible to design in reality. Tang Yu walked out of the building and called his mother Yili, saying, Mom, I want to go back to China to study. I have already made an agreement with Professor Smith. Yili asked, what happened? Is this not good? Tang Yu said, it's okay. If I don't sign a contract, I can only test and maintain weapons, and have no access to any data. The contract should be signed for at least 10 years, and I don't want to stay in country. Why? Yili said, then go home and study, and I'll help you arrange for a transfer. Tang Yu, who came to Y country for treatment due to amnesia, stayed in England to study and began her life of cheating a year later. As a mother, she is already very satisfied, and she doesn't want to stay for another 10 years. Leaving the laboratory, Tang Yu headed straight to the airport and returned to her home in H City. It was already the next morning, and looking at the muscular middle-aged man exercising in the small garden, Tang Yu smiled and said, Dad, I'm back. Tang Hemming looked at the young man in front of him and exclaimed in surprise, how did you come back? Where's your mother? I'll take a step first. She needs to take care of the company's affairs and help me transfer schools. I estimate she'll be home in a week. Tang Yu has been abroad for 8 years, and Yiwen has also been accompanying Y Country for 8 years. At the same time, she has opened a branch of hemming precision in Y Country. Tang Yu can carry her bag and leave, but Yiwen is not that convenient. Transfer. Where to transfer? I will be pursuing a PhD at H University in the future. Okay, very good, what? Pursuing a PhD. Tang Hemming knew that his son was a genius. Since he went to Y Country, he has been jumping grades continuously. At the age of 14, he went to university. Only 2 years have passed, so how has he been pursuing a doctoral degree? Graduate students graduate in just 1 year. If I were to become Professor Smith's doctoral student, I would need to sign a 10-year work contract with the laboratory. I don't want to stay in Y Country for another 10 years, so I want to return to China to pursue a doctoral degree without delaying my military service. The last sentence went straight to Tang Hemming's heart. Immediately nodded and said, okay, just study in China. If you want to do research, we also have a laboratory at Hemming Precision with first-class equipment in China. You can use it as you please. When you're old, you'll go and serve in the military. Well, I'll just follow my mentor first. Okay, I don't quite understand either. Whatever you want. A few days later, Yi Li returned home. After calming down in the evening, Tang Hemming smiled and said to Yi Wen, thank you for your hard work. Your child is reading so well and exercising very well. The year after tomorrow, he will be 18 years old. Should we wait until the end of next year to recruit soldiers and let him join the army? Upon hearing this, Yi Li immediately turned her face and kicked him out of bed, shouting at Tang Hemming, get out of here. I've had enough of it. Becoming a special forces soldier is your dream, and you have to realize it on your own. If you can't achieve it, it's because you don't have the ability. You can't impose your dream on your son. My son will go to H University to pursue a doctoral degree in 2 years, and he must graduate, which cannot be changed. Back then, Tang Yu failed to complete a 5-kilometer run while playing games, and after being beaten, she ran to the balcony in a fit of anger. Yi Li chased her out and saw her son flip over the railing of the sun-drying platform, then jump down in one fell swoop. It wasn't even a typhoon that blew him out. Because Tang Yu only had a concussion and a bit of amnesia, nothing else happened. In order to save face for her family and not want to undermine Tang Hemming, she concealed the truth and said that her child was blown out by a typhoon. She sent Tang Yu abroad to study in order to mitigate the influence and temporarily keep her away from Tang Hemming. Tang Yu has been forced to exercise by Tang Hemming since she was very young. She is so tired that she goes to bed after dinner every day. As a mother, she looks very sad, but she doesn't say much because she also admires soldiers. But she didn't expect that the child had already been pushed to the limit and would act recklessly in a fit of anger. Fortunately, after arriving in Y Country, the child became sensible and conscious of studying and exercising. Yi Li naturally had no objection to Tang Yu's decision to return to China to continue her studies. She also wants to have a family reunion and has helped Tang Yu contact H City University. She will be pursuing a doctoral degree at H University since the start of winter vacation. Still serving in the military, are you joking? Upon hearing his parents arguing over him, the sound grew louder and had already spread outside. Tang Yu quickly threw away her computer and walked over through the door to persuade him. Dad, Mom, don't argue anymore. I have grown up and have my own life plan. I will fulfill your wishes one by one. I will first pursue a PhD and join the military until I graduate with my PhD. Dad, I'm only 16 years old, and I'll be 17 years old after the Chinese New Year. I can join the military before the age of 22. I'll definitely have time to finish my PhD. Over the years, I've been exercising and will continue to do so. I promise, like you, to serve for at least 5 years. After retiring, I'll return to work at Hemming Precision Industry in recent years abroad. He has also played the glory of Y-Server. In order to complete his studies faster, he only played for 3 hours a day and refused invitations from the top-tier teams in Y-Server. I chose to join Smith's Precision International Laboratory because it is a world-class firearms research institute that allows me to access the best firearms in the world. Real firearms are certainly more fascinating than firearms in honor games, but unfortunately the laboratory system is very strict. He continues to stay, only wasting time. Tang Yu's words were well-founded and persuasive. Tang Hemming grinned and said, "This son is really good. Thank you. You have trained and educated him well." Yi Li rolled her eyes and stopped talking. Upon hearing that her parents had finally stopped playing, Tang Yu returned to her study and continued playing games. Honor 24 professions, he likes them all, but his favorite is still researching materials. The fusion of multiple materials, as long as the proportion is appropriate, will stimulate special properties. This is the hidden attribute hidden in the game of honor, and each special attribute has a different algorithm. The silk peeling and cocoon breaking algorithm is what attracts Tang Yu the most to honor. He left midway through the semester because he saw a news online. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Drunk Betting on the Battlefield. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Drunk Betting on the Battlefield. This year, Tang Yu suddenly interrupted his further studies, not only because he was unwilling to sign a contract, but also because he saw news of Yi Qiu's retirement online. After going home for a week, he had already inquired from the side. Su Muqiu is still a professional player at Jiashi. After retiring, Yi Qiu left Jiashi, and no one knew his whereabouts. The best way to find Yi Qiu is, of course, through online games. Because Yi Qiu retired, but he will not leave glory. Tang Yu has successively purchased 24 professional account cards online, not only in the realm of gods, but also in every district. The purpose is to find the shadow of Yi Qiu. He believed that as long as Yi Qiu appeared in glory, with her personality of not wanting to hide, it would definitely cause a sensation. Tang Yu has been tracking the scene of Honor's most high-end wild game boss for several days, but has not seen any dazzling characters. When he was walking around the 5th area, he heard the player roast that someone had painted the copy of the place where bones were buried, an unprecedented record. Tang Yu's heart twitched. In the low-level dungeon of the 5th district, it may not be meaningful to create a high-end record, but someone else did. Can it be Yi Qiu? What is the purpose? Is he in the new district? Only new areas care about duplicate records. Playing games with great authority, just by any account you like. Do we need to start over from scratch? Whether it's true or not, just take a look and you'll know. You can't buy a new account card online, so you have to buy a new one. Since her mother has returned home, Tang Yu's first priority is to go to H University to handle transfer matters. H University is not a high school, and transferring to a PhD is not a child's play. Tang Yu dropped out of Y University abnormally, but there is no introduction letter. He needs to rely on his strength to be admitted to H University, and only if a professor is willing to take him on. During the interview, the teacher in charge of academic affairs saw Tang Yu's resume, not only laughed, at the age of 16, "I haven't even taken the college entrance exam yet, so I'm going to transfer to our school to pursue a doctoral degree. Ms. Yi, I know that Hemming Group is very capable, and you shouldn't rely on your education to find a job. But aren't you afraid to promote yourself like this?" Yi Li smiled and said, "My son is a genius. If he doesn't want to become a citizen of Y country, he will stay at Imperial College for further studies." The teacher said, "I haven't heard that a PhD in Imperial Science and Technology requires citizenship in country Y." Yi Li said, "This debate is meaningless. My son's Imperial Master's degree is not fake, is it?" The teacher said, 5 years from elementary school to university, 1 year for undergraduate studies, 1 year for graduate studies, and half a year for doctoral studies. Looking at our resumes, we are indeed geniuses. We need to verify and interview again. Is that okay? Yili asked, how long will it take to verify? The teacher said, now that New Year's Day has just passed, both here and Imperial College are almost on vacation. I really can't give a schedule. Anyway, we will send someone to follow up. Is that okay? Tang Yu suddenly said, I think verifying educational qualifications is a waste of time and meaningless. You can find a materials science professor and give me a set of exam questions. My answer sheet cannot satisfy him, and we will not get tangled up. If I am satisfied, even if I graduate from elementary school, he may still want me, right? The teacher said, education is a very serious matter. Materials science professors are all experts and very busy. They may not be willing to set exam questions specifically for you, a child. Tang Yu said, we can take it step by step. You can start with the freshman exam paper. Although the books are different, I believe that what materials science can teach is about the same. The teacher said, okay, for the sake of your genius, I am willing to make an exception. Let me prepare the exam questions for you, from undergraduate to graduate. Pursuing a doctoral degree is a serious matter, so I have many subjects to take. I will try my best to simplify them and finish them within a week. How about that? Tang Yu nodded and said, sure. The teacher said, if I think it's good, I will show your answer sheet to the professor and see who is willing to guide you. Is that okay? Tang Yu nodded and said, okay. The teacher said, give me some time to prepare. The exam will start in 3 days, okay. Tang Yu nodded and said, okay. 10 days later, Tang Yu's exam ended and she had time to continue searching for Yi Qiu. As for whether H University will accept him, he is not worried because if H University does not want him this time, he also does not want to go to H University. He only wants to learn materials and knowledge from the teacher, not a diploma. After buying an account card from the 10th district and registering casually, you will see Jun Mo Zhao's name hanging on the top kill list in the 10th district. Jun Mo Zhao, what a familiar account name. I found you, Yi Qiu. Tang Yu didn't continue playing, but went downstairs to find the nearby internet cafe and bought another account card. Go home and start registering again, naming yourself drunk sleeping on the battlefield. There were not many people in the beginners area, and they easily completed several tasks that needed to be done while lying drunk on the battlefield, and were also promoted to level 5. In just such a short amount of time, Tang Yu saw many players with guild names cursing Jun Mo Zhao on the world channel. Tang Yu suddenly became interested, opened the channel, and carefully watched it once. Don't laugh, despicable and shameless ruler, hiding in the water to ambush us. In Qianhua Lake, there is a great demon named Jun Mo Zhao, who specializes in ambushing elite groups. Only then did I realize that Jun Mo Zhao had been wandering around Qianhua Lake, chasing the elite groups of various guilds. These cursors were all bitter masters who had been harmed by Jun Mo Zhao. Tang Yu laughed dumbfounded and said, Yi Qiu, you are still the same personality as before. You are not particular at all, and the Grand God is in direct confrontation with ordinary players. It's too disappointing. After finishing speaking, shaking her head, Tang Yu drove the drunken battlefield into the entrance of the dungeon of Green Forest and began to greet him. Green's Forest team up, new players are asking for guidance to fly. Little brother, young lady, and sister can help. Green's Forest team up, new players are asking for guidance to fly. Little brother, young lady, and sister can help. Honor has been on the server for over a month now, and even for newcomers who haven't been online for a long time every day, they have now reached level 30. At the entrance of the new dungeon of Green's Forest, apart from those who work on materials, there are not many people seen. Drunk lying on the battlefield, covered in whiteboard equipment sent by the mission, with a weapon of an embroidered iron sword. Although he can single-brush dungeons, he doesn't want to be too tired. It's best to be taken away by someone, saving time and effort. Tang Yu has been playing for many years, and of course, he has seen countless new people seeking guidance and flying. These tricks are clear to him. Not long after, I saw a player coming from a distance. When I saw him lying drunk on the battlefield, I immediately sent him a team application. "Ha, level 5 pink newcomer, come with me. I'm from Lanshi Pavilion, I'll take you to fly. You can add guilds at level 20. How about adding us to Lanshi Pavilion?" Tang Yu saw that this person was at level 34, with a name on his head called Muqiu Village Shui and no guild name. He immediately said, okay, thank you, brother Muqiu. As soon as Muqiu Shui entered the dungeon, she said to Tang Yu, "There's no hiding. Let's go out and come in again. Don't worry, I'll give you medicine." After speaking, he opened the trading window and gave a pile of red medicine to the drunken battlefield. Tang Yu understands in seconds that only by teaming up and entering dungeons can a hidden boss be released. The opponent is the designated material for the Blue Creek Pavilion Guild, so only the hidden boss can be found and new players can be brought along to add fresh blood to the guild. Newcomer dungeons can be accessed countless times, and death does not damage experience. Exiting will only weaken. Tang Yu just needs to upgrade quickly, everything else doesn't matter, there's medicine to take anyway. Accompanied by Muqiu's collision 3 times, I finally heard a deep roar. "Alright, just follow me and don't get close to 10 positions. I'll leave a small monster with residual health to fight you, and I promise to let you take off." Muqiu Snow is a swordsman holding a level 30 purple martial black iron heavy sword. When he sees a small monster, he hits it with a normal strike, then turns his head and walks away. He is drunk and follows behind on the battlefield. With a rusty iron sword, he takes a few steps to kill the small monster with only blood skin, then catches up with it, releases a reverse slash, and finally takes out the fresh remaining blood small monster. "Hee, you're also an old hand. Which district? What's the big size called?" Muqiu Snow was also paying attention to this newcomer lying drunk on the battlefield. Seeing that his movements were very agile, the positions of his 2 moves were very clever, the timing was extremely precise, and his strength was not inferior to himself, he smiled and asked. Tang Yu said, "There is no big name for the Chinese server. In recent years, I have been studying in Y country and playing with foreign servers." Muqiu heard that the foreign server came, no wonder this kind of expert still needs to practice from the new area. Muqiu Shui is a member of the Blue Creek Pavilion Guild's Gold Team. The major player in the Divine Realm is as late as Spring Snow. Blue Bridge Spring Snow is facing difficulties in clearing land in the 10th district, so she was sent by Spring E to assist Blue Bridge in obtaining materials and practicing wild numbers. When encountering new players, she naturally had to bring them to Blue Creek Pavilion. I casually asked, "Oh, studying abroad, what grade are you in?" "Doctor." Cough, cough, cough. He was about to say, "Do you want to go to Blue Rain for a trial?" Upon hearing that he was a doctor, Muqiu was startled and immediately swallowed the almost spoken words. After all, which doctoral student is not older than him? "Well, brother, cultured person, amazing. Join our Blue Creek Pavilion, one of the 3 major guilds with the best honor and welfare. It's impossible to try training at this age. However, the guild still needs it. No matter how old you are, just be an expert. I have heard of the Blue Creek Pavilion, which adds guild and attribute points. If necessary, I will join the Blue Creek Pavilion when I reach level 20. It is normal to play online games and add guilds. Guild guardians can add free attribute points to guild players. The higher the guild level, the more data can be added. The highest guild level is 20, and a maximum of 160 free attribute points can be added. For every level a player advances, their 4-dimensional attributes increase by 3 points. At level 70, the total attribute points are only 840 points. According to different professions, the allocation of attribute points also varies. Full-level guild players have 160 more free attributes, which can enhance the overall quality of the character, and of course, their strength is stronger than ordinary players. I don't know how many major guilds like Lanshi Pavilion are at full level in the Divine Realm. With a large number of people, adding Lanshi Pavilion from the new area is not at a disadvantage. Seeing a drunkard lying on the battlefield holding a rusty iron sword, Muqiu asked, "Our Blue Rain team has a top expert swordsman named Yu who is annoying, so there are many swordsman players. Are you also preparing to practice swordsman?" Tang Yu said, "I am playing the gun series in the foreign server, and my main profession is ammunition engineer." Muqiu said, "Oh, our national server usually refers to ammunition experts, and now the most powerful ammunition experts are in our Blue Rain." Tang Yu was not quite clear. "Oh, is your Blue Rain quite strong?" Muqiu said, "Of course, Blue Rain is a regular player in the domestic playoffs. In addition to Sword Saint, League First Warlock, First Mad Swordsman, and First Ammunition Expert, they are all at Blue Rain. In the 6th season, we were the champions, and this season's points ranking is also the first." Drunk on the battlefield. Oh, that's so amazing. The section about Muqiu in the original work is quite touching and regrettable. To make up for this regret, let him start from scratch. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Blue Creek Pavilion with Flying. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Blue Creek Pavilion with Flying. The two of them were fighting monsters and chatting at the same time. Most of the time, Muqiu spoke, and Tang Yu listened. Tang Yu has always been following the domestic honor forum. Of course, Lan Yu knows, but it's not clear how many professions come first. He has a deep understanding of all 24 professions and is a skilled martial artist. Regardless of which profession he uses, he always carries a pistol. In the silver weapon blueprint he designed, there is no need for the low-level version of Green's Forest. Following Muqiu, he just wants to upgrade quickly and enter the spider cave as soon as possible, while also getting a set of equipment, so that he can quickly single-brush dungeons. Muqiu only stared at the rare material of the Night Cat Demon, the Night Cat Eye Stone, and the equipment and other materials produced by the dungeon were all garbage to him, so they were all picked up by the drunken battlefield. As a newcomer, you are lacking everything. Even if you don't need it, you can go to the store to exchange coins. Honor games rely on controls, and newcomers with poor skills cannot even afford red and blue medicine. If you want to play the gun series, you need to prepare more gold coins. The gun series has fast durability and wear, and the blacksmith is very black. Muqiu, this swordsman, speaks a lot. He keeps fighting and his mouth never stops. He talks wherever he thinks, regardless of whether you know or not, whether you want to listen. With a little guidance from Tang Yu, Muqiu continued to introduce him to a lot of domestic glory knowledge. Last year's champion was Wei Chao, and Captain Wang Buliexing was also a deity character. Wang Jieshi was known as a magician. If it weren't for our Blue Rain Tiger's teeth pulling out, he would have almost established a dynasty. At present, only Jia Shi has established a dynasty in the alliance. Jia Shi's captain, Yi Qiu, is known as the God of Fighting and retired a while ago. Jia Shi is not doing it now. The old team that dominated the previous seasons is not doing it now. Huang Feng may not even be able to make it to the playoffs now. If it weren't for Pastor Zhang Xinjie, Batu would definitely not be doing it. The most powerful players in the league now are the Golden Generation. Our Blue Rain Sword Saint Huang Xiaotian, Captain First Warlock Yu Wenzhou, and Batu's Zhang Xinjie are all the Golden Generation. Yu Wenzhou is still one of the 4 major tactical masters in the league. After Yi Qiu retires, it is estimated that Wang Jieshi will make up for the 4 major tactical masters. The first of the 4 major tactical masters will be our U team. After knowing that the drunken battlefield did not require care, Murutan's nature became stronger and he fought even faster, leaving behind a large number of residual blood small monsters on the battlefield. After killing the monsters, some copper coins would always be dropped, and sometimes low-level equipment would also be dropped. Before the Dark Knight Cat Demon appeared, the drunken battlefield changed its entire equipment, and its weapon in hand had become a level 5 blue weapon eyebrow stick. There was also a level 5 blue weapon dagger in the backpack. 3 weapons switch back and forth, using the low-priced skills of the 3 series just learned at level 5, making it easier for small monsters to sweep away residual health, and increasing their experience to flying. To level up by defeating monsters, the first strike gains more experience than the subsequent attacks, and the last strike gains the most experience. The most common way for Muqiu to fly is to leave all the small monsters with their last strike on the drunken battlefield. After the appearance of the Night Cat Demon, Muqiu did not let the drunken lying on the battlefield take action. With a set of combos, he solved the Night Cat Demon and exposed a pile of materials. I only need the Night Cat Eye Stone and Night Cat Nails, you should pick up everything else. You are the most talented newcomer I have ever brought. As long as you enter the realm of gods, you will definitely be able to join our Blue Creek Pavilion elite team. Accompanied Muqiu twice more to fight the hidden boss, and lying drunk on the battlefield has reached level 10. It was time to change equipment and learn skills, and the two of them became friends. They agreed to go to the spider cave together immediately and then went their separate ways. Drunk on the battlefield to learn skills, Muqiu also returned to the warehouse and transferred the incoming materials to the warehouse. Then, the president of Muqiu AI, Lan He, said, "Lan Xiao, I just started collecting materials and met a newcomer who is very strong. He said he is a PhD student who returned from studying in Y country and plays the internet. He doesn't have an account in China. Blue River. Oh, how much better than you." Muqiu said, "I've been paying attention to him all along. He's very powerful, and I think he's even stronger than you. He just reached level 10 and went to learn skills. I made an appointment with him to immediately brush the spider cave. Do you want to see him? Blue River. Do you see what profession you're playing?" Muqiu said, "Currently, I have used swords, eyebrow straightening sticks, and daggers, and have switched back and forth among the 3 professional skills, all of which are very skilled. However, he said he is an expert in playing ammunition on the internet. Blue River. Even stronger than me. So fierce. Okay, I'll change my account card and accompany you to take a look. His main job in the new district is to recruit new talents, and now there is an opportunity to recruit experts, so of course he won't miss it." After lying drunk on the battlefield and selling the weapons, equipment, and materials I found to the store, I went to learn new skills. When he arrived at the entrance of the Spider Cave dungeon, he saw 2 swordsmen waiting for him, Murutuan Shui and Ju Sei. Seeing him lying drunk on the battlefield, Muqiu pulled him into the team and casually introduced him, "This is my friend, let's take you flying. Spider Cave, we only need strong spider silk, everything else belongs to you." Muqiu is very kind, and all he can do while lying drunk on the battlefield is to have a sweet mouth. "Thank you, brother Muqiu, thank you, brother Ju Sei. Let's get into this. Just now, I killed the Night Cat Demon and dropped a level 5 purple martial ninja blade. I was drunk on the battlefield and specifically learned the Night series skills. Now I have more skills to use. The skills of honor game are available for trial at level 20 or below, and all skills can be learned. To use them, you must have a corresponding weapon, and holding an eyebrow-raising stick is not possible to use a sword. The ninja sword is an exclusive weapon for Night-type ninjas, and can use low-level skills such as stab-slashing for Night-type assassins and thieves. If you want to set traps, you must have a thief's main weapon, the dagger, and a ninja's shadow clone must have a ninja sword. Now lying drunk on the battlefield has not reached level 20. As long as you have the corresponding weapon, you can use the corresponding skill, regardless of profession. This also allows players to have an understanding of various professions, and ultimately, after reaching level 20, they can switch to their favorite professions. After switching professions, they cannot use skills from other professions. If you don't change jobs all the time, it's just a casual gameplay, like lying drunk on the battlefield, where you can play various professional skills as long as you change weapons. Jun Mo Xiao is just a casual account because he has a silver Martial 1000 machine umbrella. Qianji umbrella is a transformational weapon specially developed for scattered individuals. The transformational weapon is not a switching weapon, and it has no cooldown or pause. As long as the hand speed is fast, skills below level 20 in various professions can be used interchangeably. These low-level skills have a short cooldown time, making it easy for individual players to hit multiple combos, leaving opponents in a situation where they cannot counterattack. Of course, the drawbacks are also very obvious. The attack power of low-level skills is low, and a big move from other professions can kill 1/5 of the opponent's health. If a solo player hits 10 combos, it may not be able to kill 1/10 of the opponent's health. Moreover, after reaching level 50 in the old area, individual players cannot level up. They need to enter the realm of gods to level up, and at level 50, they can enter the realm of gods. Currently, no one has achieved this. Enter this book. We'll only give one blow to all the little monsters, and leave the rest for you to handle, okay? No problem, no problem. When he was at Green's Forest, Mu was like a person pulling monsters, leaving only a layer of blood skin, which was not enough to be drunk and killed on the battlefield. Now that we have arrived at Spider Cave, the small monsters are all level 10, several times more numerous than Green's Forest. The two of them pull monsters together and still use normal attacks. With one strike, the small monsters still have 1/3 of their health. According to the attack power of the level 5 blue weapon dagger, they need to strike at least 10 times. However, when lying drunk on the battlefield, they have already replaced their purple weapon ninja blade, and their attack power has reached a new level. Basically, 5 blades is a residual blood monster. If you use the ninja skill, you only need 2 moves. Honor weapons are classified by color, with white, green, blue, purple, orange, and each level at level 5. The attack power of level 5 orange weapons is equivalent to 10 purple weapons and 15 blue weapons, which refers to normal attack power. If skills are used, they all come with special effects, either adding an attack or having an effect. Weapons not only rely on their basic attack power, but also on their additional attributes. For example, the ninja skill Flame Slash, when used with a ninja sword, not only has physical attack power but also fire damage. Some additional attributes of the ninja sword can make fire damage stronger. I have been modifying the beginning recently. If there is inconsistency in the content, it is because it is being modified online. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Ultimate Colors. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 5 Ultimate Colors. With the addition of Ju Sei, we played a dungeon together, and Mu Ru's nagging focused on Ju Sei. The two of them were chattering in front, and Tang Yu's ears could finally be quiet and quiet. Boom, boom. The two of Mu Ru were chatting happily when they suddenly heard the sound of gunfire coming from behind. They turned around and saw that the weapons in their hands, lying drunk on the battlefield, had been changed to level 10 blue bronze cannons. There was no need to change weapons at all. By walking around and gathering the small monsters for a while, they could explode with one shot, and with 2 or 3 shots, they could sweep away a group of small monsters. Cannon is a weapon used by gunners, with each shell exploding into a single piece and having a group attack effect. As long as the monsters are gathered together, one shot can bombard multiple small monsters. Now it's time to brush dungeons and use skills with group attack effects, which are certainly more convenient. The two of them lured monsters in the front and ran away from the battle when they reached the point of remaining blood. The drunk betting battlefield approached from behind, and the little monsters would come to find it. He just needed to run with the little monsters, and then he flew backwards one shot after another to eliminate all the small monsters that had gathered together. This method of pulling monsters and gathering them is well understood by experienced players. The attack speed of the cannon is the slowest, and it may take 5 strikes with a sword to fire a single shot. If you don't gather small monsters and bombard individual units one by one, although you can also kill them, the efficiency is much lower, and you can't keep up with the first 2 people. The first 2 deliberately killed quickly to see if their drunken skills on the battlefield were really better than Blue Bridge. As a result, lying drunk on the battlefield and playing with cannons, I followed closely behind them, making it easier than before. The 2 of them understood in their hearts that if they continued to brush like this, they would not be able to see the true operational skills of lying drunk on the battlefield. Not long after, he arrived in front of the little boss poisonous spider. The 2 of them looked at each other and Muqiu said, "It's a poisonous spider. We're both close range, so there's no problem hitting him, but the poison gas is troublesome. Drunken brother is long range. How about handing over this poisonous spider to you? I heard that he was a doctor lying on the battlefield while drunk. He must be older than himself and his skills are also better than himself." Muqiu no longer pretended to be a big brother and changed his name to Drunk Brother. Of course, he knew what he meant while lying on the battlefield drunk. When they were fighting monsters, they often turned their heads to see themselves. They just wanted to see the quality of their master, so they smiled and said, "It's okay, let me do it." After that, they fired a shot. The 2 of them were willing to take on the poisonous spider alone when they saw the drunken battlefield, so they retreated to the side. Then they saw the drunken battlefield circling around with the poisonous spider. Although the poisonous spider moved quickly, not only did each shot hit the poisonous spider on the drunken battlefield, but it also happened to move through the flying cannon and dodged the attack of the poisonous spider. Muqiu said, "Drunk brother, why don't you even use a gunner's skill? Drunken lying on the battlefield. I didn't expect to find a cannon, so I didn't learn the skills of a gunner. I didn't have enough skill points. I happened to find the purple martial ninja blade, so I lit it all on the Dark Knight series. Honor requires spending money to learn every skill, and after mastering it, one must allocate skill points to the skills in order to use them. Honor game, with each level up, there will be an additional 40 skill points. The skill is learned once at level 5, and 200 points is enough for players who prefer a particular weapon to elevate a certain skill to a higher level. Drunk lying on the battlefield doesn't care about weapons, so he assigns skill points to many professional skills. Each skill is only at level 1, and it costs 5.20 skill points at level 1. He is only at level 10 now, with a total of 400 skill points. Therefore, it is impossible to learn all the skills and click on them. Of course, game NPCs are very dark. After learning sword, mage, and knight skills, there are not many coins left. He was just as kind as Wood, allowing him to obtain a lot of equipment materials and sell them to shops in order to learn so many skills. For example, for a gunner, the first level skill is pull out, which only requires 50 copper coins. At level 5, one can learn the Grim machine gun, which costs 10 silver coins. At level 10, one can learn the anti-tank gun, which costs 50 silver coins. At level 15, one can learn barbecue, which costs 100 silver coins. After transferring at level 20, one can learn heavy firepower control, which costs 1 gold coin. The same goes for skill points. Pulling requires 5 skill points, while the green machine gun requires 20 skill points. The higher the level of skill, the higher the skill points required. With 400 skill points, he cannot learn many skills, and can only learn skills based on existing weapons. It's okay, anyway, when you switch jobs at level 20, you can reset skill points for free. Due to insufficient skill points, how to allocate skill points after job transfer has become a subject of study. It is to assign skill points based on one's own preferences, and gradually form a strategy, which is the most reasonable allocation plan. Of course, the most reasonable is not the only one. After all, there are different preferences, but generally only a few schools. For example, gunners, there are those who like violent destruction, and those who like kite opponents, and their way of adding skill points will be different. Not only do they have different skill points, but also different schools, and the four-dimensional allocation will also have a focus. The 4 dimensions are strength, physique, wisdom, and agility. With each level up, the character's attribute points increase and are assigned by the player to the 4 dimensions. When added to strength, regular attacks are higher, while when added to wisdom, spell attacks are higher. When added to physique, health is higher, and when added to agility, speed is faster. Of course, there are not only these, but also many other attributes that will increase. For example, when it comes to strength, the weight will increase. When it comes to physique, health will recover faster and defense will increase. When it comes to wisdom, mana will recover faster and spell defense will also increase. And there are many types of spell defense that score, such as dark attributes, ice attributes, fire attributes, etc., which need to be compensated for with equipment. The reason why it is called learning depends on which gameplay the player is accustomed to. The kite flow gameplay definitely requires agility, violence flow, either power or wisdom. The addition of rain and dew points is not impossible, but the character will become mediocre. Mediocrity is boring, PK is not good, and even brushing dungeons is not good. There will be no friends. Being a person is already mediocre enough. Playing a game and still playing mediocre flow is not embarrassing enough. Of course, these are all external factors. When playing honor games, the most important thing is to rely on skills. Masters operate it, not equipment. Tang Yu knew that experts in the game would gain many benefits, but of course, she didn't hide herself. She tried to use the most efficient tactics to attack poisonous spiders, and with clever positioning, she dodged the attacks of poisonous spiders, allowing herself to kill them unscathed. Muqiu and Juesha watched while chatting privately. Muqiu said, "How about it? Is it a master?" Just by looking at his flying cannons, you can tell that he is a PK master. Also, you can see that he has a very accurate grasp of the timing and landing point of each shot. The poisonous spider did not release any poison gas throughout the entire process, and every time he made an attack, he was blown to the head. After landing, the direction of the spider's head happened to be on both sides. If you want to continue attacking him, you can only turn your head. The bronze cannon has great power, but its speed is slow. With this turning time, he can continue to fire and always be able to catch the poisonous spider. Ju Se nodded and said in agreement, "I can also single brush poison spider, but like him, I can't do it by blocking the rhythm and using only regular attacks to kill poison spider kites." Muqiu smiled and said, "We found the treasure. I want to practice it with him and let him follow us to brush the dungeon records. How about that?" Ju Se shook her head and said, "The level difference is too much, and I don't know his daily online time. It's not easy to catch up with Muqiu." Muqiu continued, "It's okay, I'll use my gold account to accompany him to level up. If he's really a master, along the way, I'll ask him to refresh the Muqiu record." Ju Se smiled bitterly in her heart. Muqiu is the great god Yi Qiu. Although this drunken warrior is a master, it may not be easy to break Muqiu's record. Ju Se knew that Muqiu didn't know Muqiu was Yi Qiu, which was why she came up with this solution. However, he couldn't neglect Muqiu's enthusiasm, so he smiled and said, "When he reaches level 20, let him join the Blue Creek Pavilion Guild. In the future, his upgrade will be handed over to you. If he is willing to challenge the record, we can send experts to cooperate." End of this chapter. Chapter 6. 3 Major Trade Unions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6-3 Major Trade Unions Private chat is not voice chat. After all, the drunken battlefield is nearby, and if voice chat is used, the drunken battlefield can also be heard. The two are gaming friends. After opening the friend window, they type and chat. To illustrate their emotions, they also add various expressions to express their tone of voice. Game experts can also manipulate characters and make actions, such as nodding and shaking their heads, stomping their feet, or tapping their shoulders, in conjunction with chat text. These actions can be operated through the keyboard to make the characters move. All the actions in the game are operated by the keyboard and mouse. Playing the game is just for fun. Doing more of these actions not only makes the character full of vitality, but also resembles a living person. It can also practice hand speed and accuracy. For example, if you want to pat someone on the shoulder but end up slapping them in the face, it becomes an attack on the opponent, and the difference lies in the accuracy of the operation. As for hand speed, chatting and typing should be fast, making topics coherent, and even chatting while playing games. If more content can be expressed, it indicates that hand speed is faster, and technology is gradually accumulated in this way. As he lay drunk on the battlefield and killed the poison spider, Muqiu smiled and said, "Drunken brother is amazing. Since you can single brush the poison spider, it's up to you to start the monster. Let's add a blow in between, and finally you can finish it." Tangyu also smiled and said, "Thank you to the two brothers for their help. Let Tangyu start a monster and finish it." They are not playing in the middle to be lazy, but to gain more experience while lying drunk on the battlefield. This is the most efficient way to lead the game. Of course, this must also be done by experienced players, otherwise they cannot get rid of it after starting a monster and will lose experience if scratched to death by the monster. Others have been dedicated to helping you upgrade. Of course Tangyu is grateful. He also knows that pies won't fall from the sky. These two people are not asking him anything. After all, he is lying drunk on the battlefield at level 20, and after joining the Blue Creek Pavilion, he is their own person. Muqiu received a stunning response, indicating that he had recognized being a master lying drunk on the battlefield and that he was the one who had to be recruited to the Blue Creek Pavilion. Helping him level up would not be a big deal. A guild is where players gather together to keep warm, and the more experts there are, the better. You should know that there are many guilds and resources, and if you take them, others will not. You must obtain them through competition, especially the guilds behind the team, which are naturally in a competitive state. The higher the level of guild experts, the stronger their strength, which is a great help in guild competition. Team competition is determined by PK, and guild competition is not just about PK. The higher the advantage of dungeon records and the number of members on the level chart, the higher the level of the guild and the more it can attract novice players to join. The more players there are, the stronger the guild strength, and the greater the help it provides to the team. This is a virtuous cycle. If the team's performance is not good, the guild is mediocre, and new players become more frustrated as they play, who will stay. Entering a vicious cycle, not only does the team need to find a reason, but the guild president also needs to be replaced. Several major guilds, such as Lanshi Pavilion, have recently fallen into a vicious cycle. They have been stirred up by Jun Mo Xiao and have become unbearable. New players only recognize the master Jun Mo Xiao. Seeing another expert appear, Muqiu naturally became very interested and tried his best to elevate the level of the drunken battlefield to deal with Jun Mo Xiao for them. Blue River knows that Jun Mo Xiao is the god of Yi Qiu and the most famous player in the Glory League. Although he has retired, it is not something that these players can deal with. However, every expert is a scarce resource. Even if they can't deal with Jun Mo Xiao while lying drunk on the battlefield, they can still take them to deal with other major guilds. After defeating the poison spider, it turned into a drunken battlefield and opened monsters. Then, Muqiu and Ju Se went up to strike a sword, and finally left it for the drunken battlefield to finish. Each head and tail had the most experience, and they were all given to the drunken battlefield. With the help of 2 experts working, the drunken battlefield experience soared. After completing 3 dungeons and adding a hidden boss Spider Lord, I am already at level 15.5 drunk on the battlefield and need to learn skills again. Juesha immediately bid farewell. Drunken brother, please continue. I have something else to do, so I won't accompany you to continue the dungeon. Juesha is a sub-account of Blue River in the 10th district. When it is inconvenient to use the Blue River President account to appear, Juesha will be used as the account. Blue River also has an account in the realm of gods, called Blue Bridge Chuanxue, and is one of the 5 experts of Blue Creek Pavilion. They are professional players hired by the club and are formal employees of Blue Rain. It was only after the opening of the 10th district that he took the lead in pioneering the land. The so-called land reclamation refers to establishing a branch guild in the 10th district, attracting new members to join the Blue Creek Pavilion, seizing resources from the 10th district, and supplying them to the battle team for use. Resources are mainly materials. In addition to the weapons and equipment produced by Honor, there are also self-made equipment, which is called silver because the font is silver. These silver decorations are made of materials, and silver decorations may not be the best ones are definitely silver decorations. To make silver, you need to have a blueprint first. Some bosses may explode the blueprint, but they are all low-level silver, with the aim of allowing players to learn how to make silver. The silver equipment used by team players is designed with blueprints, as it involves their own silver attribute secrets. Each team regards it as a treasure, and professional talents who can design weapons and equipment are also provided as treasures. After obtaining the blueprint, there must also be materials to make it. The higher the level of the monster, the better the material dropped. Muqiu fights against the Night Cat Demon and takes away the Night Cat Eye Stone, which can be polished into a bundle of umbrellas at the top of thousands of machines. The so-called polishing production is similar to the drilling, milling, planing and grinding of metal processing. Various tools in the equipment editor are used to cut and process materials into 3-dimensional parts, which are then assembled and combined. Some areas also need to be welded, and finally become a whole. If you know the material formula, you can directly use a melting furnace to melt multiple materials into synthetic materials, which is a more advanced gameplay. In order to make the weapons of the players stronger, major teams are constantly developing and activating each other with various materials, hoping to generate new attributes. The materials used in the experiment are countless times more than those used in making silver weapons, so the club sends skilled employees to form guilds in the new area, and also sends professional players to specialize in making materials. Tang Yu checked the dungeon records of the 10th district and found that most of them had the name Jun Mo Shao. She immediately guessed the meaning of Yi Qiu. In order to help upgrade Shenji Umbrella, Yi Qiu monopolizes the dungeon record. Which guild wants to record it, they can only ask him to play on their behalf. Unless unexpected circumstances arise, they are all rare materials. Rare materials are all dropped by bosses and are also graded. Generally speaking, hidden bosses are more advanced than dungeon bosses, and wild map bosses have the highest level. Unlike the dungeon boss, the refresh time of the wild map boss is uncertain, and each wild map boss will only be refreshed once a week, making it the most coveted boss for all team guilds. When grabbing the wild map boss, the main opponent is no longer the boss, but other team guilds, and PK is needed. At this time, the most needed is the master. According to Muqiu, the 3 major guilds are the most competitive forces among the wild map bosses. The so-called 3 major guilds specifically refer to the 3 major guilds of Lanxi Pavilion, Hegemonic Xiongtu, and Zongkeatang. The team behind the Blue Creek Pavilion is Blue Rain, the team to which the domineering and powerful figures belong is called Batu, and the team of Zongkeatang is called Weichao. They are all strong teams that have won championships and are the strongest contenders for the championship every season. In the first few chapters, in order to educate those who have not seen full-time experts, I added more content. Don't blame me if you don't like it. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Joining the Guild. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Joining the Guild. The competition among the teams naturally spread to the guild, with the attitude of preferring to give each show, a retired expert, a cheaper price than to make the opponent feel better. Although Blue River and other guild leaders are reluctant to give up rare materials, in order to compete with other guilds, they can only hold their noses and cooperate with Jun Mo Xiao, but they hate Jun Mo Xiao to death in their hearts. Tang Yu saw different dungeon records, and Jun Mo Xiao represented different guilds. I know that Yi Qiu has been hovering among several major guilds in order to maximize his interests. This dungeon helps Blue Creek Pavilion, the next dungeon will help Dominant and Mighty Map, and the next dungeon will help Zongkeatang Brush. Tang Yu thought to herself, Yi Qiu has played with it and caused public outrage. So Jun Mo Xiao occupied the Qianbo Lake leveling area and killed one group after another of the elite groups of the Grand Guild. This is about establishing authority. The elite team of the Grand Guild is the facade, and the account cards are upgraded by multiple people working together 24/7 to occupy the level chart and be visible to all players. In the game, in the new district, high-level players have higher strength, such as level 35 wood. With just one sword, they can chop down the monster into remaining blood. When lying drunk on the battlefield at level 15, they need to chop several swords to kill the remaining blood monster. That's the difference. There is too much level difference and a significant difference in attribute data. No matter how good the technique is, it is impossible to score. Elite members with high strength are the ones that ordinary players look up to. Now, in front of Jun Mo Xiao, the elite team of the Grand Guild has become a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. The experience gained from 2 hours of leveling has been killed back by Jun Mo Xiao in a few minutes. If you kill a few more times, you will still lose level and disappear from the level list, which means it will reduce the face of the guild. Being killed in an online game cannot be reported to the police. If you want revenge, you can only rely on yourself to kill back. If you cannot kill, you can only stand at attention and surrender. It's not enough to say a few good words when taking advantage of the situation. We must cede the land and pay compensation. Tang Yu has already guessed the end, and of course, Jun Mo Xiao made a list as a ticket to Qianbo Lake. From working and performing, to sitting and extorting. This is online gaming, where strength is paramount and the law of the jungle applies. Tang Yu is here to find Yi Qiu. Of course, you need to catch up with her level. Otherwise, as a kitten, standing in front of a tiger and saying that I will help you kill the wolf pack, wouldn't it be a laughingstock? If Muqiu and Lan He knew that Tang Yu had specifically returned to China to find Yi Qiu, they wouldn't have helped him improve and would have killed him back to the novice village. Now lying drunk on the battlefield, I have changed to a level 15 purple martial peach with Tai Dao. I also have 4 level 15 purple equipment on my body, and the rest are level 15 blue equipment. I can now single brush dungeons. With the help of Muqiu, it is efficient enough, and there is no need to keep the stunning color. What he wants to know is already understood. The strength of being drunk on the battlefield is indeed much stronger than him. Whether it is at the professional level or not is not something he can see. Anyway, the videos of the dungeon have been recorded, and we need to ask General Manager Chang Chun-yi to send them to the team for confirmation. Muqiu must send the drunk betting battlefield to level 20 and join the Blue Creek Pavilion to rest assured. Taking advantage of the drunk betting battlefield to learn skills, he hastily ate a takeout and waited at the entrance of the dungeon. After meeting, he accompanied the drunk betting battlefield to brush the skeleton tomb dungeon. Along the way, I searched for the skeleton monster, but it was still drunk lying on the battlefield to open the monster. Then, I attacked with Muqiu and left the final blow for the drunk lying battlefield. Fortunately, I encountered a hidden boss halfway through. Give me the rare materials revealed by the Skull Lord, the rest are yours. Sorry, we have tasks every day to collect materials. I understand, no problem. In the future, if I encounter rare materials and cannot use them myself, I will leave them for you. Okay, thank you first. Still playing monsters on the drunken battlefield, then Muqiu resisted the monsters and attacked the boss while walking around the drunken battlefield. Muqiu had a level 20 suppression, and it was also difficult for the boss to hit him. When he hit the boss, his health decreased quickly. In the end, even his rampage was interrupted by the drunken battlefield, and he had to be unwilling to fall. Besides taking the 2 rare materials that fell off, Muqiu had to go and retrieve everything else while lying drunk on the battlefield. Surprisingly, there was also a skill book inside. There is a skill book at 20 o'clock. Oh, good luck. After picking it up, it's not tradable. You can use it. Muqiu was amazed when she heard about the skill book, but she had already been picked up by someone lying drunk on the battlefield, so she could only generously express her indifference. A skill book is the only way to obtain skill points besides upgrading. With 20 skill points, a small skill can be upgraded by 1 level, resulting in a higher attack power. A team's god level account not only has good weapons and equipment, but also higher skill points than others, otherwise it cannot become a god level account. At present, the character has a maximum level of 70 and a maximum skill point of 5,000. The account with the highest skill point in the alliance is called Desert Solitary Smoke, which has a total of 4,880 points. It is the game character of Han Wenqing, the captain of the Bata team, and is known as the King of Fighters. It is one of the top 5 title experts in the alliance. The 5 major titles of experts are called the 5 Saints by players and are the top-level experts in the alliance. In addition to the King of Fighters, there is also the swordsman Yi Yuxing Fan, known as the Sword Saint, operated by Huang Xiaotian from the Blue Rain team. The sharpshooter pierces through the clouds with a single shot, earning the title of Gun King. He is the game account of Zhou Zikai, the captain of the Reincarnation team. The captain of Weiqiao, Wang Jieshi, holds the account of the sorcerer Wang Buliexing and is titled Magician. Before Yi Qiu's retirement, his account was Yi Ji Qiu, also known as Dou Shen and one of the 5 Saints. After he was forced to retire, Yi Ji Qiu's account was taken over by Sun Xiang, the new captain of the Jiashi team. Tang Yu named her nickname, Drunk Sleeping on the Battlefield, to correspond with Jun Mo Xiao and become a saint together. Don't laugh while lying drunk on the battlefield. It's just a line of poetry. It's impossible to say that Blue River and Wood don't doubt it. But doubt leads to doubt, it's better to show kindness than to show kindness. This is also a characteristic of online games. According to Muqiu, Yi Qiu and Han Wenqing have been competing for 10 years, but privately they are friends. On the field are opponents, off the field are friends, this is what team players often say. Is that really the case? Then let's divide the people. Lying drunk on the battlefield and picking up a few pieces of equipment, I didn't really need them, so I asked Muqiu. There is also an orange necklace and a purple handgun. Do you want it? No, you can use it yourself. After using it, go to the store to sell it. After reaching level 20, you will receive orange equipment. If you don't need it yourself, you can contribute to the guild and exchange contribution points. Contribution points can be exchanged for higher level equipment. The beginner village equipment at level 15 is of no use to the guild. Muqiu wants to recruit people into the guild, so he behaves very friendly everywhere. There is no limit to the number of dungeons in the novice village. Muqiu and Drunken Sleeping Sandfield spent an afternoon exploring the skeleton cemetery, and all 3 hidden items were encountered. Muqiu only needed rare materials, while the rest were sold to the store by Drunken Sleeping Sandfield. When Drunken Sleeping Sandfield finally reached level 20, Muqiu breathed a sigh of relief and immediately sent an invitation to join the guild. Drunken Sleeping Sandfield did not hesitate, immediately accepted it, and then joined the guild. Welcome newcomers, drunk on the battlefield, hello. Welcome newcomers, drunk on the battlefield, hello. Welcome newcomers, drunk on the battlefield, hello. Scattered flowers, scattered flowers. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Doing silver martial arts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Doing silver martial arts with the care of Blue River, players in the Blue Creek Pavilion Guild enthusiastically showed their enthusiasm. If they were really new to honor, they would definitely be very moved. For Tang Yu, who has played honor for 10 years, these things have been too much experience. How should she respond? Of course, she did it very appropriately. After the welcome speech came to an end, Blue River applied to add friends. After being drunk on the battlefield and agreeing, he realized that he was the president. He immediately smiled and added, "Hello, President. Brother, I heard that you are a overseas returnee with a doctoral degree. I wonder where you are from. This is about to be revealed. I haven't graduated yet. I just transferred to H University. It's winter vacation now, so I can play more. After school starts, I'll have some free time to go online. Oh, brother, I heard from Muqiu that your strength is very high. Look at the instance record of Frost Forest, are you confident in breaking it? Let me take a look at the copy record. Oh, the time is so short. This is what a professional player played. If it were me, with Muqiu and 3 stunning power outputs, we could make about 16 minutes. With a little effort, we might make 15 or 13 minutes. It requires hand speed and cooperation, and their 2 abilities cannot keep up. Expert, where is the record of the place where bones are buried? Tang Yu checked and first made a sweaty expression, then said, this record is even more abnormal. Even if there are 5 professional levels, they still need to be paired with at least 5 silver weapons. Is it so boring for professional players? Besides, it's not that low-level silver weapons. How did this record come about? Who are these people? He has seen that 2 of the 3 records were made by Jun Mo. There must be a specific way to play, so he deliberately roast. There must be professional players, brother. Have you ever participated in professional competitions in Y country? No, I'm studying. There's no such thing as a free time. I can only go online for up to 2 hours a day. Now during winter vacation, there should be plenty of online time every day. I'm free now. Let's play from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. every day. Can I help you find some companions in your 20s or let Muqiu continue to accompany you through the Frost Forest? I'm planning to do a solo brush, there's a demand for White Wolf Sharp Teeth. Upon hearing that White Wolf's sharp teeth had a need, Blue River's heart moved. Perhaps it was not for Jun Mo Zhao's sake. So he typed and asked, what is the need, brother? What else do you need? Can you tell me? Let's see if our guild can do its best. Be a silver warrior, use the White Wolf's sharp teeth to make a trigger. Yin Wu. Brother, can you do Yin Wu? Hi, I played it myself. Honor is so attractive, it's not just about leveling up and fighting monsters. Brother, what major does a PhD major in? Materials science, with a focus on precision machining and other related majors. Professional, master brother, I have materials. Can you help me make a sword? Of course, there's no problem with level 40 silver martial arts, but upgrading to level 70 is not a small task. I have to learn after school starts, and in my free time, I also have to do silver martial arts for myself. I shouldn't have the energy to study your sword. What are your requirements for a level 40 silver weapon? I haven't studied swordsmanship and silver weapons before. If you have blueprints, I can polish them for free. If you want me to design them, 5 times the material is barely enough to waste. If it's not enough, I can stick it myself. If it's too much, I won't return it. The equipment editor is not just about simple synthesis. Each material needs to be polished, cut, or even heated and fused with other materials to create composite materials. The formal process is completely similar to metalworking in reality. Different proportions result in different properties of composite materials. This is not a coincidence, but is supported by data. Effective proportions can increase the properties of composite materials, and excellent proportions can stimulate special properties. Composite materials can be polished into parts, and then combined together. This is the most advanced silver weapon making method. The parts need to be cut and polished first. If there is no perfect fit between the assembly, the material properties will be in poor contact, and the necessary properties cannot be activated. Therefore, cutting and polishing is a very challenging skill and patience. Being willing to help while lying drunk on the battlefield can be considered very considerate. Of course, the most important thing is the drawings. It is very important to know what materials are used to blend each material, what properties are made into composite materials, and how they are connected to other composite materials. The technical foundation of designers is achieved through countless material experiments, and they also need to have advanced theoretical knowledge. The technical departments of major teams hire highly educated talents to oversee the digitization of online game management, and ultimately develop equipment attributes that are suitable for the characteristics of players. Synthetic materials are high-precision technology that even wealthy teams have mastered. It is difficult for outsiders to know the specific formulas. Tang Yu himself is a major in materials science and has been studying honor materials for 10 years. It can be said that there are few people who have better synthetic formulas than Tang Yu. I don't have any drawings, I can give you 5 times the materials and you can make a list for me. Blue River agreed at once. Using 5 times the material, he could exchange a silver weapon. This is exchanging 5 boxes of ore for a mobile phone. Even fools know how to make a lot of money. The president of Lanshi Pavilion wants to obtain low-level sword blueprints, and of course, he can also obtain them. However, what he can obtain is all the players have figured out by themselves. Most of them are modified from orange clothing, which is definitely not top quality. Of course, top quality blueprints are only available in the team. However, the silver weapon blueprints are confidential to the team, and even if the sword saint is eliminated, the silver weapon blueprints will not be leaked to outsiders. Now, with 5 times the amount of materials, you can hire a doctoral student to create a sword. If it is top-notch, show the sword to the technical department of the team for reference. The stones from other mountains can be used to attack jade, and every technique can be learned by analogy. President, I haven't researched yet. Where are the drawings? How could there be a material list without drawings? I'm sorry, could you give me an approximate time? If it's too long, would it be possible to elevate the level a bit? It always needs to exceed my level's orange martial attribute before I can take it out, right? Okay, I'll buy an account from the old district and research it. In a week, I'll design a level 50 silver weapon for you. However, it's only for silver weapons. I won't provide the blueprint, you know, there are many confidential parameters in the blueprint, which are even more precious than silver weapons. Of course, if the drawings can also be sold, you can also quote a price. Sorry, the drawings are not for sale. This is an exclusive secret and no one will provide it, nor will I, as it involves the performance of my own weapon. Tang Yu has been studying silver martial arts for many years, and has studied all kinds of weapons. It is not difficult to get a 50-level silver martial arts sword. The agreed-upon week is to make Lan He feel that he will not lose 5 times the materials. With these 5 times rare materials and ordinary dungeon materials, Tang Yu's silver weapon can also produce a level 50 sample. Okay. Blue River never thought he could have a real silver weapon, so he agreed in one go. With the motivation of silver martial arts, Blue River accompanied Muqiu to brush the frost forest 3 times with Tang Yu, and even encountered a hidden one. This time, they didn't even ask for the rare materials they produced, so they all gave them to Tang Yu to pick up. As a result, another skill book appeared, which was also at 20 o'clock. The two of them felt bitter in their hearts, but praised Tang Yu's good luck through practice. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Ultimate Lightsaber Blows Dust. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 9. Ultimate Lightsaber Blows Dust. Tang Yu is only at level 21.5 now and cannot enter the bone burial ground. It's almost 10 o'clock, so she said goodbye to the two of them and made an appointment to go online tomorrow to contact them again. Tang Yu has been exercising since childhood and has always maintained the habit of exercising in the morning and evening. After turning off the computer, she went to the gym and did some strength training, and then washed and slept. Tang's parents came home from the company at night and saw that Tang Yu was already asleep, so they didn't disturb him. In the following days, Tang Yu went online with the swordsman account from the 7th district, borrowed an account from Blue River, and with a smile in the morning, he received some copy materials from the 7th district and began to study the silver martial sword. Other times, Muqiu led him to practice and lie drunk on the battlefield. On the 5th day at noon, Tang Yu opened a list for Lan He, which contained all the copy materials. Blue River asked, "Brother, don't you need wild map boss materials inside?" I don't have the wild map boss material in my hand, how can I study it? You smiled last morning, and I sent you the silver martial light sword blowing dust. I thought it was okay, so I made it according to this. If you're not satisfied, blowing dust will also give it to you. Forget about the materials in the 10th zone, I can't make a better one. Blue River immediately turned on his computer, smiled in the early morning, and traded a lightsaber from the evil charm sword. A very beautiful sword, with a slender blue body and 3 dents on the spine, designed for inlaying gemstones. Blue River appreciated it before clicking on the mouse to see the attributes. Lightsaber Blowing Dust, level 50, strength plus 15, stamina plus 15, attack speed 10, physical attack 630, spell attack 380, strength plus 30, ice resistance plus 20%, 3 section / plus 2, amazing, this is top-notch. Its physical attack is comparable to level 60 Orange Martial Arts, with a 45% increase in strength and a 15% increase in stamina. Both of its subsidiary attributes are very useful. It's really a top-notch sword. You can make such a powerful silver weapon without using wild map boss materials. Brother, you are really a professional talent. The main materials are all hidden bosses from dungeons, which wasted a lot of materials, resulting in the creation of the 3 section / plus 2. For the lightsaber in the 10th zone, I can't guarantee that there will still be 3 section / plus 2. Brother, don't scare me. The ultimate sword is manifested in its additional attributes. If it's missing this, I'll cry to death. I wish you good luck then. This is random and there is a high chance it will become another skill. Amitba, blessed by Jesus. In the morning, a smile immediately sent out a series of expressions with hands clasped together. The evil charm sword was taken offline, and the drunk lie on the battlefield was taken online. Soon, 30.6 materials were traded from Blue River, 5 of the 6 hidden boss materials, and the other 6 materials were not on the list. Are these 6 materials from the wild map boss? Give them to me or use them on the sword. Sweating, sweating, sweating. Blue River made a waterfall sweat expression and then said, "Of course it's for you to use on the sword. I only have this little wild map boss material in my hand, and I'll give it to you. Let's see if it can be used." Okay, I'll give it a try. If it doesn't work, it won't be refunded because it's likely to be wasted. Of course, here you are. Tang Yu's heart was filled with joy. Among these 6 wild map materials, 3 were what she needed for her weapons. Blue River is really a real person. Compared to the lightsaber, the weapon Tang Yu designed for herself was a simulated assault rifle, which was the one shown to the professor. It had already been produced in Y suit and was standardized to level 50. Later, it was replaced with materials from the Divine Realm, jumping directly to level 70. The initial form of the assault rifle requires more than 60 parts, all of which are polished with synthetic materials. There are over 20 types of materials needed, and ordinary dungeon materials can be purchased. These wild map boss materials are all required for level 70 upgrades and cannot be obtained on the market. However, Blue River has sent 6 types in one go. Rare materials only rely on their attributes and are not graded. Although the Night Cat's Eye Stone is produced by the hidden boss in the beginner's village, it is a material that many level 70 silverware will use due to its hard texture and added agility. That's why Muqiu went to the beginner's village to obtain materials. The weapon Tang Yu made for himself was completely based on the structure of assault rifles in reality. After fusing materials into composite materials, cutting and polishing them, welding out parts, and finally assembling them, the assault rifle he created had a firing rate faster than a revolver, slightly lower than an automatic pistol. Its bullet physical attack power was also far ahead in rifles. This rifle comes with the marksman's ultimate sniper move, and when it reaches level 70, it comes with Barrett Sniper on its scope. If used by the sharpshooter, with the addition of Sniper and Barrett Sniper skills on the skill tree, and dual control skills, it can shoot 2 consecutive snipers and 3 Barrett Snipers. With 5 shots, even the highest defense Divine Knight will be killed. If combined with the skill scroll's attack skill, this gun can use a series of sniper moves to kill 2 heroes full of health. I heard that the most famous player in the league now is the Gun King, and the first ammunition expert has retired. Tang Yu doesn't have much time to compete with the Gun King, so it's easier to choose to become a god. This gun is already abnormal enough. There is also a grenade launcher attached to the sniper barrel, so you don't need to switch weapons. You can directly fire the Gun Artillery Division's Grand Howitzer, or use it as a handgun to treat the shells as regular attacks. You can also use the grenade launcher to defeat other advanced skills of the Gun Artillery Division. The stock of the gun hides a simple version of the mechanical box, which can be used to fly with mechanical rotors. The stock can also be used to control advanced skills of mechanics. This weapon does not need to be switched, and can use all skills below level 20 in the 4 gun classes, as well as all skills of the ammunition division. In addition, Sniper and Barrett Sniper are 2 divine marksman moves, which can defeat 3 skills. This is an additional calculation. Not only that, the front bayonet of the rifle is inverted and flipped over to form a spear, directly used for assassination. Because the bayonet and gun are integrated, their attack power completely replicates that of an assault rifle. The killing power of a regular stab is equivalent to the power of a rifle bullet. The key is that the bayonet is made of special synthetic materials and also has additional attributes. The additional attribute of Tang Yu's finished product is combo and attack power. Drunk on the battlefield, transform into an ammunition master and enjoy the expertise of an ammunition master. In the old district, you can directly upgrade to level 70 without any restrictions. Ammunitionists have a variety of bullet and grenade models, and assault rifles can not only fire more bullets with control measures, but also throw various special effects grenades at their disposal. This silver weapon has already been completed at level 70 in Y server and has undergone practical testing. It is a more promising silver weapon than the 1000 machine umbrella. The top team of Y country invited him to join, mainly because he was interested in this weapon. After the invitation was unsuccessful, he proposed to purchase finished products or drawings, but was rejected by Tang Yu. When Tang Yu returned to China, he also brought back his account card. He would rather idle his divine level account than expose his control skills. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Blowing Dust and Reflecting Snow. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Blowing Dust and Reflecting Snow. Tang Yu is practicing the new number of national uniforms in the new area. He wants to lie on the battlefield drunk, fight with Jun Mo Xiao, and climb the peak of glory with him. Of course, he needs this top-notch weapon. When Muqiu retires, Tang Yu also reaches the age to join the army and will accompany her to retire. As for how to deal with this weapon, we can only talk about it later. After receiving the Blue River materials, Tang Yu stopped the drunken battlefield in the arena. After thinking about it, she took out 3 wild map boss materials for cutting, fused them with edge and corner materials and other hidden boss materials to obtain 9 special composite materials, polished them into 9 pyramidal shapes, and then took out her 30.4 copy materials and fused them with 6 hidden materials to synthesize hundreds of composite materials. Finally, they were polished into parts of different shapes. Tang Yu took out some of these parts, cut out wedges at specific positions, and then assembled the wedges into a sword shape. He started welding the joints, and finally dug a pit on the sword ridge, which is a standard 4-pyramid inverted pit. He then embedded 9 4-pyramids into the sword ridge, and the surface was tightly sewn. After welding the joints again, he began polishing until the joints were not visible. Finally, he drew runes on the entire sword body. Rune is also a drawing technique that Tang Yu learned from Orange Wu. Runes can not only activate all the attributes of the sword body, but also cover up the assembly lines. If you want to forcefully disassemble it, it will also destroy the rune, and the sword will be useless. Unless you refer to the drawing to cut and decompose, replace the cut pieces with parts made of other materials, assemble, weld and polish them, draw the rune again, and complete the upgrade. Tang Yu also left 6 inlay holes on both sides of the sword handle. If Blue River has gemstone materials, they can be polished and inlaid to provide a special gemstone effect. Embedding hole technology is a mainstream technique developed by the initial pioneers and has been posted on forums for players to learn. Of course, all major teams have mastered it. Many advanced players in online games use silver weapons, which are actually fake silver weapons made by punching holes and embedding special materials on orange gear to increase attributes. This is not something that everyone can play with, because if the punching position is not chosen properly, it may damage the inherent properties of the orange equipment. Whether the special properties of the inlaid materials can be utilized depends on whether runes can be restored. If it is wrong, the gem properties cannot be activated by the orange equipment, and it cannot be played with high skill. Tang Yu only asked Lan He for 6 advanced materials. In fact, this design requires dozens of materials, all of which are replica materials. Some were given to Muqiu to pick up when he accompanied him to upgrade, while others can also be received from the market. In order not to expose the fusion technology, Tang Yu provided them for free. If Blue River wants to upgrade the sword, Tang Yu must be personally responsible. Other people do not have blueprints and can only destroy this sword if dismantled indiscriminately. Of course, Tang Yu cannot guarantee a successful upgrade either. If new synthetic materials are used and their properties clash, the sword will explode and be completely scrapped. Or the ratio of the synthetic materials is incorrect, the properties are not fully stimulated, and in the end, even the orange martial arts are inferior. If Lan He Pavilion wants to upgrade this level 50 weapon, the materials Tang Yu wants must be provided several times by Lan He Pavilion, and a smiling face must be put on to satisfy Tang Yu. Free lunch is not delicious, Tang Yu understands this principle well. He had confidence, and in the end, the Sword Saint came to him to upgrade this silver weapon. 2 hours later, a lightsaber with a cold glow came out of the furnace. The name has been changed to Blowing Dust and Reflecting Snow, indicating that it is a different recipe. Blowing Dust and Reflecting Snow, level 55, attack speed 10, strength plus 20, stamina plus 20, physical attack 680, spell attack 580, strength plus 30, spirit plus 30, ice resistance plus 20%, spell critical hit rate plus 5, freeze chance plus 10%, attack speed plus 1, sword conquer the world plus 2. Damn it, it's so awesome. After reading the attributes, even Tang Yu was stunned. This far exceeded expectations, especially with the addition of frozen attribute plus 10%. This is an incredible attribute that the Blue Rain team will definitely study. Tang Yu can synthesize the frozen attribute, but it's not this recipe. I didn't expect these materials to also be activated. Tang Yu thought for a moment, then carefully calculated for a while before realizing that it should be the additional properties generated by the mutual excitation of the composite materials of those 4 pyramids. Sure enough, after receiving the blow of dust and snow, Blue River was first amazed and then sat in a chair feeling unhappy. The sword is at level 55, and he is only at level 51 now. It will take at least a few more days to equip this silver weapon. If it is shown to the team, it is estimated that the technical department will stay behind for research, and his silver weapon dream will be shattered. What should we do? Should I turn it in now? This silver weapon is only at level 55, and its basic attributes are close to level 70 of the top. Level purple weapon, equivalent to level 65 of the orange weapon. This is because its attributes have exceeded the level, and it cannot be made with rare materials. 10. You must have a way to exceed its attributes. There are also very impressive additional attributes, which are silver weapons that can be used at level 70 without needing to be exchanged. Of course, this refers to players and teams who want to upgrade to at least level 60, with attributes exceeding level 70 orange equipment. If upgraded to level 70, the attributes may be comparable to level 80 orange weapons, but of course, they may be even higher. After thinking for a long time, he decided to turn it in due to his professional ethics. After taking a screenshot of Yin Wu, he reluctantly looked at it for another 10 minutes. Finally, he gritted his teeth and traded blowing dust and reflecting snow to a level 25 account. Then, holding his account card, he slowly walked to Chunilau's office. Chunilau was leading a team to browse a 100-person notebook when he saw Blue River personally coming to his door. He turned to Blue River and asked, "Wait another 10 minutes, will it delay things?" Blue River shook his head and then found a seat to sit down. He took out his small account and swiped his card to log in, continuing to appreciate the peerless appearance of blowing dust and reflecting snow. Springilau pushed down the little boss before announcing the save of the dungeon, asking everyone to rest for a while. He looked up and asked Blue River, "Blue Bridge, is that Jun Mo Shao again?" "No, this time I was lying drunk on the battlefield." "Drunk on the battlefield? Drunk on the battlefield, don't laugh. What's the relationship between the two of them? I haven't heard of any connection. I claim to be an international student on this drunken battlefield. I used to play on server Y, but now I'm returning to China to practice a new account. I saw that the first person in the 10th district's level is called Jun Mo Shao, so he named him Drunken Sleeping on the Battlefield. He is only at level 28 and is also a master. The most important thing is that he can do silver martial arts. He has already joined the Blue Creek Pavilion. I gave him the materials and asked him to make a lightsaber. I want you to see the attributes of the lightsaber. Can he do silver martial arts? He's really impressive. You can recommend him to the technical department, let me see his attributes." After speaking, he walked to the Blue River and first looked at the level, which was level 55. He frowned and asked, "Do you have an upgrade plan?" "No, the materials are provided by us and are all produced in the 10th district. Springilau is already absorbing cold air. At level 55, there are such strong additional attributes, which are not materials from the Divine Realm. If you use materials from the Divine Realm and upgrade to level 70, the basic attributes will definitely be higher than Huang Xiaotian's Ice Rain, and the additional attributes will be even more amazing. The freezing probability is very rare, especially for lightsabers, which are very fast and easy to chop 10 swords. Even if the boss resistance is high, if you chop 20 swords, they will freeze into ice lumps, and then you can be killed in a wave. Nima, what kind of perverted weapon is this? There's such a genius in the 10th district. Can the team recruit him? I don't think so. After winter vacation, he will be pursuing a PhD at H University. He said that there will be fewer opportunities to go online after school starts. In order to use this weapon, I used other district accounts and gave him some dungeon materials. In just 5 days, I made a level 50 lightsaber, which added 6 more wild map materials, skyrocketed basic attributes, and added 3 more additional attributes. Blue River took out the account of the divine realm with a smile in the early morning and opened a computer to display the silver martial dust. The two silver weapons are very similar, just blowing dust and reflecting snow, emitting a faint cold light. End of this chapter.